Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC. Welcome back to another episode of Supreme Being, the podcast. I'm using Restream now, which I'm going to leave a link for you here in the description. I'm also using this on YouTube as well. It's a streaming service. It's really cool. If you guys want to sign up, you can use my link. For those of you who love my cat that are watching the video, you get to see him here a little bit. They've been extra cuddly lately. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I've been out of the house a little bit longer. Bottom left here beneath my right hand on the screen, you see BC, which is me. Top right on the screen, but over my left hand right here, you see the logo. This is the logo for the podcast. When you look for it online, once you see that, you know you're at the right one. Okay. First and foremost, shout out to everybody who's been supporting. Quick announcement in the beginning here. I'm off Facebook. I no longer have access. I don't know how much longer I'll be on Instagram and the other platforms, but we'll see. Right, here we go. For those of you looking at the video, that's my Instagram name. If you want to follow me, take a screenshot, and there you go. Shout out to Modern Success, right? My coaching program, right? We released Tier 2. I'm in the middle of revamping it too. Tier 2 is amazing, but if you guys are interested, briancasella.com, along with all my other products. Shout out to my team. If you're a realtor and you're interested in joining my team, which is in 13 states now, we're looking for new talent. Join teambc.com. Schedule a call with your regional leader. Okay. You want to learn about eXp Realty or anything else, shoot me a message and we'll chat. Okay. So let's get into it today, right? We're about a minute in, and I want to, as you saw in the title, how to be charming, right? How to be more charming. Well, let's look this up. What does charming mean? Pleasant or attractive? Of a person or manner, polite, friendly, likable. Keyword likable there, but we'll come back to that. Delight greatly, gain or influence by charm, control or achieve by or as if by magic. Middle English in the senses incantation or magic spell, and to use spells. From Old French, charme, charmer. From Latin, carmen, song, verse, incantation. Interesting, right? Now, many of you, before me saying this, probably didn't know that you can deduce it to pleasant, attractive, polite, friendly, likable. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say any of those specifics or specific words are charm in itself, but that last old French and Latin origin of the word is where you need to look. And that's what we're going to focus today. Incantation or magic spell. What's an incantation? Well, if you do affirmations and you add emotion behind it, that's an incantation. Okay. What else is here? Magic spell. Well, spelling. When you write, what are you doing? You're spelling. That's a magic spell. Okay. All that is creation with intention behind it. Meaning, right? Meaning all you got to do, right, is think. You mean use your mind and involve emotion with it too. That's the root of this thing. Okay. This is how you can start creating this charming effect that you want to create. You get what I'm saying? It's not rocket science. It's not anything special. I want you to look at this because every single one of you listening to me can be charming. Okay. This is something that you don't have to walk around and be 24/7, but you can definitely do it. And it's not difficult and you can figure it out. Okay. So the first thing is you need to understand that this is a freaking cat. This is a learnable skill. Okay. Stop looking at it as, oh, you're born with it. Oh, some people are just special. Look, some people have unlocked things naturally through processes unaware of to them. Okay. Either by examples around them or they themselves ended up doing something through a process. They figured it out. Okay. Good for them. However, you can achieve the same thing. Okay. However, if you don't understand what I just said and you don't accept that you can be charming, it's never going to work for you because you've already ruled it out in your mind. All right. So let's go to incantation, right? Or magic spell. What does that mean? What does that infer? It means that I create an effect. You're causing a certain type of effect that the average person cannot. That's what it is. We are so advanced now as a culture, something like charm, we can deduce it now scientifically and give you a step-by-step process to produce it. So earlier we brought up likable. Well, how do we become likable to people? Okay. Number one, how do you enter a room? How do you talk to people? How do you interact with them? When somebody lays their eyes on you or they pick up the phone and you're calling them and they hear your voice, the first word they hear, the first noise that they hear, what is that going to inspire in them? You can't help if you're around me to feel my energy, to sense my presence and aura. It's impossible. I've worked on myself too much. Too many social interactions, right? Too much self-discovery, self-analysis, right? And all that other stuff. Like, it's just impossible. Even today, 2 or 3 people approach me. This is happening more and more. Sometimes when I'm out with people, right, and people approach us, they think that like I set it up, meaning like I'm paying people or arranging for people to approach us like while we're hanging out to look cool. I'm not. There's a certain element of charm to what I do. So we brought up likable, right? How can you be likable to people? Well, people like people that are like them. You've heard the old saying from neurolinguistic programming, which is mirroring and matching people. That's huge. That's huge. Okay. That is a big, big part of it. Okay. Now, I brought up when people look at you, what's the first thing they feel? What's the first image that comes into their mind? If you want to be charming, every single thing about you has to be pleasant around people. Okay. And I'm going to specifically focus this episode on in person. Online, you can be charming, sure, but there's always going to be haters and a bunch of people who talk shit about what you do. Don't worry about that. Let's focus on the in person stuff. Everything about you has to be pleasant and delightful, meaning when they look at you, your clothes, how you carry yourself. How about how you converse with them? Think about that. What are people trying to do when they go out? Talk about themselves, make themselves look cool. I absorb myself in other people when I go out. Do I take the time to look good? Sure. Put myself together? Absolutely. But I'm focused on other people. I want to find out about them and I want to learn their story, what they like, what they don't like. I'm fully in the moment. This is the key. This is how you're charming. You're in the moment. Everybody nowadays is so fucking distracted on their phone, talking about what they're going to do tomorrow, earlier today. I'm here now. One of the most important elements for you to be charming to people is be in the moment. Be fully in the moment. Enjoy it. That's why I love bringing up situational stuff and topics into the conversation about the way somebody's dressed there, certain things in the environment, right? What's happening right then and there. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want the focus to be on. Okay? Being in the moment is one of the most attractive things because most people cannot do that. They can't surrender to be in the moment because they're too distracted and their mind is too riddled with nonsense. If you can work on that alone, your ability to be liked and to be charming will skyrocket. Okay? That also will make you lighter in conversation and not so needy. You want to be charming? Stop being needy, right? Be more open, be more relaxed and comfortable in conversation. Here's the key with no agenda. You're entering conversations, interactions, environments with zero agenda. You're not like most guys, hey, I want to get laid or I need to meet 36 people and get phone numbers. Like you're going to do that. Take that off your mind. Drop the agenda, dude, because this is a big one, number 2. When you have that lightness to you and you're free, that is extremely charming and attractive and pleasant. Remember that first definition, pleasant or attractive. And by the way, attractive isn't cute or good looking. Okay? It's not. Attraction is not a choice. Attraction is something that's triggered that cannot be controlled if you follow certain elements, which is qualities that you display. Okay? So we have to stop thinking of attraction in the traditional sense. How about pleasant? Your eye contact, is it pleasant to people? How about your smell? Is it pleasant to people? How about your handshake? Is it pleasant to people? How about the conversational topics that you bring up? Is that pleasant to people? Right? And many of you may say, well, I suck socially. Well, go work on it. That's how you become charming. Conversation is the number one way, especially for the guys listening to me, to display your charm. That is your weapon. It's conversation. Believe it or not. That's how simple it is. Okay? But let's continue. Okay? For those of you listening right now, I'm going to take a quick second and I'm going to turn on my Instagram live. So give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Let's do this thing. Continuing on, right? Now, as we go along, okay, another way that you can boost this would be to what's called socially proofing, right? If you're out with friends, you can create an effect. As an example, when I'm out with my friends, and I don't do this as a tactic so much now, but the people that I hang out with and that I associate with, they're cool people. They're good people. They're great people. They're movers and shakers. They're somebodies. Okay. These are people that if you hear about them, you talk to them, right? You see them, you can't help but notice them, be attracted to them, and all that stuff. So, what I'm doing in these environments when I'm there with other people, I am speaking highly of them. When you speak highly of yourself, it could be considered, you could be seen as self-absorbed, right? Arrogant and that kind of stuff. However, when other people talk highly about you, it's one of the most charming things. It's one of the most image and reputation boosting things. Like imagine if you go to an environment and maybe you met somebody and whatever, but then everybody in that room, even though you only talk to that person for a minute, it's just like, oh man, that person, that Jim, man, he's fucking great. Oh, Jim. And you're like, fuck, man, like I need to go talk to this guy. Like, what the fuck? Everybody's saying he's incredible. What is it? You're minimum going to be thinking about that person or like what's so cool about them. You're going to be more likely to be, drawn to them. Because remember earlier we brought up pleasant or attractive. That's pleasant. That would be a person you would want to know. Why? Because you want to align with them. That's a part of this element of charm is you want to align with that person. You like being around them. It feels good. Like we said earlier, pleasant and attractive. It is. But remember, I brought up earlier the incantation or magic spell. That's what that is, man. You can't put that shit into words. It's an aura, it's an energy. Okay? It happens. Yes, we can decode how to do it, of course. I've already given you some tools for that. But I want that type of effect. I want people to feel as if it was a fucking magic spell, even though it's not, even though I'm a tactician when it comes to this stuff. Okay? So if you're going to go out, right, if you're going to hit these social environments, I recommend you go with 1, 2, or 3 other people and do that. Speak highly of each other. That's how you charm a room with not just you, but everybody. That's the key, man. And again, how do we do it? Conversation. This requires a lot of practice and repetition for you to get good at it. But this is fantastic. This is one of the best things to do. Another thing is certain types of gestures that you can do, right? Certain type of gestures. Like I have no problem as a kind gesture. Again, adding to what I said earlier, no agenda. I have no problem buying, a round of drinks for somebody, right? Maybe 2 or 3 people or the group, right? Just as like a cheers or as like a good moment. Okay. Well, you're spending money. Well, no shit. I make money. I do it for these moments. That could be seen as charming. Again, no agenda. Okay. How about kind gestures that you do to people that you know? Buying a gift for somebody when it's not a holiday or a birthday or a social obligation to do it. That could be seen under this category for sure. Are you doing that? I do that all the time. I'm like the opposite. I refuse to buy gifts for people like on the days that you're supposed to, like their birthday or Mother's Day or whatever. But randomly, every couple of weeks, I'll buy people gifts that are close to me. Right? Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 times a year, but not on those days because that's by obligation. Why would I do that? Okay. Anything that falls under the category of what everybody does, expected social obligation, anything that you would do, any gesture or movement or speech pattern or way of dressing or whatever would be the opposite of charming. Okay. Even the word delight and delightful, right? We brought that up. Delight greatly. That's one of the definitions. You remember in Dumb and Dumber? When that old lady is complimenting Lloyd and Harry on their suits, she says they're delightful. That was charming to those people. Now, the majority of people say, oh man, those suits are ridiculous. They're fucking cool, man. The orange and blue suits. But the lady said the word delightful. That's one of the words of the definition here. And these are the details that you need to catch on. It's not what outside people are saying or what somebody would say or what's deemed as right or wrong. It's the effect that's being created. I want to create that effect. I'll do what it takes to create that effect, as long as I'm not breaking laws and hurting people, which you're not. But it goes against conventional wisdom, that's for sure. But this is a secret weapon, dude. I mean, it is secret, but it's not. We're aware of it. We know what it feels like to be around it, but many of us in practice don't know how to do this. Okay. Now, eventually you begin to embody a lot of these qualities and you're literally a walking beacon of charm and all these other things. I just happen to focus on this word because it's like a buzzword, right? I know for a fact, especially if I really want to turn it up, but even just in my normal existence, to the average person, I'm very charming. I know how to, have good conversations. I know how to make people feel good. I know how to run, um, conversations. I know how to lead interactions. I know how to tell stories. I know how to do all the things that check all those boxes because I've worked on them. You can do the same though. Now the beauty of it is it's almost like a button that you can turn on and off. Now eventually it's just going to be on all the time, and even your most minimum effort will be that baseline of like, okay, it's already creating an effect. Okay? Stop, dude. Quiet. But we have to get there. You have to earn it by, you know, crashing and burning, failing, not doing things right, getting embarrassed, and going through all the other shit that other people go through. Okay? Because this is one of those things that you gain in practice, not by fucking reading. Go pick one of these things that I covered in the last 20 minutes or so and work on it. Say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And just go through them. Boom, 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 boom. Now, after the 1,000th repetition, you're going to be much better than you were in the beginning. And now you can start putting these things together. Because eventually you reach a level of awareness now where all of your attention, and this is one of the most charming things you can do, by the way, especially if you couple it with being 100% in the moment, is all your attention is outward. Somebody who's charming is not self-conscious. That's anti-charming. Their attention is outward, which means they're a better listener. They spot things. They're very attentive. Okay? Are you an attentive, patient listener and interactor with people? I had a very good interaction earlier this morning with one of my neighbors. I just met him finally, the last neighbor. Very attentive. I could tell that socially he's not the most comfortable, but I worked with him and I paced him. And after about 30 seconds or a minute, he started getting very comfortable. Go ask him what he thinks of me. I guarantee you it's going to be nothing but praise. But I'm very attentive and patient with people. A lot of times you get caught up in the moment. What do we think? Oh, I need to spit it out quickly. Wrong. Wrong. That's not how you do it. I want people hanging on every word, every story, every situation, every moment. That's what I want. That's the magic spell that we brought up earlier that's created. Remember, this is tied with the old saying, people won't remember what you said or what you say, they'll remember how you made them feel. Okay? This has multiple levels of power for you, your brand, your reputation, all the things that you want to do. This is the key to unlock that vault. But it's earned. It's earned. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with is this. If you really want to turn this up, Pharaoh. If you really want to turn this up, be slightly out of reach to people. Be slightly out of reach. Don't be the person who just hangs around and is always available. You want to be available, but be slightly out of reach. That creates a extremely magnetic level of that attraction. Okay? Whether it's business, personal friendships, whatever it is, slightly out of reach. So that when you really want to pull forward because I need a message, nope, chill and pull back and watch the type of effect that creates. Okay, cool. That's it for this one, guys. I appreciate you listening to another episode of the podcast. We're on every major podcast platform. Again, if you're watching the video, I have the logo up here for you to find it if you do any search on Spotify, iTunes, and all that fun stuff. Make sure you guys check out Modern Success. Tier 2 is available now. I really recommend for those of you who are high performers that you get on that. It really will take you to the next level. Then we have the traditional level 1 membership as well, open to everybody, briancasella.com, along with all my other products. Shout out to Team BC, my real estate team. We're in 13 states. We're recruiting nationwide and worldwide. If you're interested, message me. And also go to jointeambc.com if you want to talk to me about eXp Realty. We're always looking to grow, especially if you run a team, you're already a successful agent, and some of you high rollers, let's chat about eXp. All right. That's it for this one, guys. Appreciate you listening. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.